Good afternoon. We realize that we're between you and lunch and the end of this conference, so the good news is that we only have a couple minutes here, so we will talk fast. My name's Peter Huang. I'm the Executive Director of the ETEN Innovation Lab, Every Tribe, Every Nation. I'm on the stage to just quickly introduce the Data Commons initiative that you heard Daniel talking about, primarily from an ETEN perspective here. So at the ETEN Innovation Lab, we have, of course, been naturally looking at AI and its application in Bible translation over the last 5 or so years. And we realized pretty early on, just like many others in the space and who have had other missional focuses, but the technology really wasn't the problem. The bigger challenge for all of us was data. Data availability, data quality, and especially working in minority languages, data just didn't really exist. So we've been partnering with XRI Global, which is now a Gloo company, along with a ton of other generous partners that we really appreciate, to kind of solve that data problem on a case-by-case or contextual basis. But we realized that as the work progressed and as the partnership grew and as our translation goals grew, that we really were thinking too small and we needed to expand the way that we were thinking about this data challenge. So we started to realize and think through the data commons. As the partnership again with XRI Global and Gloo grew, we said to ourselves that if we could fundamentally solve this data challenge, that we could unlock the massive missional potential that's behind it. So we fast forward to today, and we are looking at the data commons, which is a high quality, community-owned, multi-sector, open and available platform for kingdom work and for missional impact and God's glory. We're in early days. This is an initiative that ETEN really believes in. This is an initiative that ETEN, the Innovation Lab, and Gloo are really excited about. We think that this has incredible potential. Our hope and our prayer is that you and your organizations would both be interested in contributing to, but also benefiting from what the Data Commons has to offer and the community that's going to be joining in. So I'd invite you to find me, find Daniel, find anybody with the ETEN Innovation Lab, find others with Gloo. Come talk to us if you'd like to learn more. Daniel's going to give you a little bit more of a technical insight here. Definitely over time already, so I'm going to pass it over to you.
Great job. Thanks. And there will be a QR code coming, so just get your phone ready for how you can opt into this. But yeah, as Peter said, a number of years ago, the theme of Missional AI was data. And then since that point, there's been a couple of gatherings based on the hypothesis that we believe there's an enormous amount of really valuable data that our ecosystem, the global church, and all these ministries are sitting on, and it's not aggregated. So that means acceleration is not available to all of us because the data is fragmented and living in silos. And so, if you think about it, missionaries for decades have been finding the word for steadfast love in thousands of languages. They've done incredible work to really find out the language that accurately conveys God's word and God's message to these people, right? And there's media companies that have the best, highest quality video and audio content in thousands of languages around the world, right? And what if we could bring all that together? We've already seen acceleration happening in AI when we get that data and it's made available to train. So how do we get it under one roof? Well, we gathered in Orlando late last year with a lot of organizations and asked that question: is there enough appetite in these organizations to make something like this possible? And I must say, this slide does not represent people that have agreed to give their data at this point, so please don't hear me say that. But this was who was convened as we talked about what must be true for us to actually get together and get that data. And so what I'm going to share with you is just a couple of the details of what this can look like, or what this is looking like. So many of you may represent organizations, you're like, we think what we have is valuable, but we don't know why, number one, and we don't know how to get the value out of it? Well, included in the launch of the platform, the Data Commons platform, we will also have what we're calling Data Sherpas. And Data Sherpas exist to come sit next to you, talk to you about what data you have, why it's valuable, and how we can take it, bring it to the platform, transform it, clean it, and get it ready for AI training, right? So we're including that as part of it. Some of you may also be wondering, yes, we've got unique licenses on that data, though. We've got unique access controls. We don't want to make it available to the big tech companies, or we don't want it available for this or that use, or it's non-commercial, or whatever. That's fine. Data Commons will honor the licensing and the controls around the data that your organization feel are important. So these are some of the details that matter. So we're going to work with you to say, how can we unlock the greatest acceleration together by pooling this data and having it available on a single platform? So call to action here. A call to action is, if you want to be a data contributor, please scan the QR code, fill out the form, say, yes, I think I have something valuable. I want to be part of this movement. You just heard me talk about the language integration protocol, where we can take the data out and use it. It will live here, right, in the Data Commons, right? So when we're collecting data from all over the world, right, and we don't have the data restrictions, we're going to be parking that data here and pooling it next to yours, right? And so if you want to participate in the acceleration, scan the QR code, say, I want to be a contributor. If you want to be a builder, if you're like, man, if I could get my hands on that data set, that would be amazing, right? I have ideas already. I'm working in this country or that country or with this people group, or I want every language on earth with my app that I'm building. Scan the QR code and say, I want to be a builder, I want to be a developer, and want to use Data Commons. And third, if you're interested in what it may look like, you're good at data, you're good at cleaning data, you're an AI engineer, and you do this all the time, maybe you want to be one of our Data Sherpas. Select that as well and say, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I want to make this platform successful. So I invite you guys to scan the QR code, let us know how you want to be involved, and then get ready, because this is happening. The global church is rallying together. All these organizations that have a heart for the nation are rallying together, saying, this is how we will accelerate together for the glory of God. Thank you all so much.